Let's take a look at plan services for Azure Functions, and we have three to choose from: Consumption, Function Premium, and App Service Plan. Very different, very interesting options for you to decide where you want your compute to run and how your compute to run for functions. You do not see AWS or Google Cloud doing that, but the flexibility here is very interesting. So the first is consumption plan, and this would be considered serverless. And because it's serverless, it can scale to 0. And because it can scale to 0, that means that generally we will have cold starts. So you only pay for the time your code or application is running. Billing is based on the number of executions and the duration of each execution and the amount of memory used. Just pay while you have functions running and scale it automatically, even through long loading times. Then you have premium plan. These are functions premium. This is where we have pre-warmed compute underneath. So the user has designated a set of pre-warmed cases, which are already online and ready to react instantly. Azure provides any additional computing services that are required when your function is running. You pay for the constantly pre-warmed instances, including any additional instances needed to scale the Azure app in and out. Azure Functions host instances are added and removed based on the number of incoming events. So, the idea there is that you're not waiting for the container runtime to spin up. It's already running, but it's not going to scale to 0. You can still say that it's serverless in some regard. I would consider that now being a fully managed service, but not necessarily serverless. That's debatable. The last here we have dedicated plan. This is with app service plan, and this is where we're doing VM sharing. And this one is extremely unique. You do not see this in any other cloud provider, but this is where when you use app service for other apps, your functions will run on the same plan, virtual machine, at no extra cost. You may scale it out manually by adding more virtual machine instances for an app service plan. You may also have auto scale enabled, optional when you have existing underutilized virtual machines, which also operate other instances of the app service. So I think what happened was people were using app service, right? Platform as a service. And they just had they weren't utilizing all of the virtual machine compute. And so a customer must have said, hey, can I just take my functions and utilize the unutilized compute on my plan? And that's Azure's like, sure. And they made that a thing. So it's just like an interesting way to save money, but it is one of those things where it is a little bit hard to understand because it's not as isolated or modular in terms of functionality where we see other cloud service providers, but those are your three plans. So there you go.